everyone, my name is Diya and welcome to Learn French Easily with Diya. If you have always wanted to learn French but found grammar confusing, then you're in the right place. In this complete French grammar series, I'll explain every important grammar rule in the simplest way possible with plenty of examples so that even complete beginner can understand. In this video, we'll cover everything step by step from nouns and articles to pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, comparisons, conjunctions, and much more. I recommend watching this video from beginning to the end because each topic builds on the previous one. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a strong foundation in French grammar. So grab a notebook and a pen and let's start learning French together. If you see on the screen, the first topic says noun, gender, and the definite articles. Let's begin with the basics. Once you understand this concept, many other grammar rules become much more easier. So let's dive in. As it says here, every French noun is either masculine or feminine, and articles must match the gender and the number of the noun. Let's first see how would we know if a noun is masculine or feminine. This is a very important topic in French. Even if we know all the grammar rules, all the tenses, and we're making perfect sentences, and if we don't know if the noun is masculine or feminine, we will make so many mistakes. This is really important so that we can also use adjectives in the right way, adverbs in the right way, and also the right articles. So let's see. If we have a noun in front of us, how would we know if that is a masculine noun or a feminine noun? So let's first see the masculine ones. While there are exceptions, nouns ending in these letters or suffixes are typically masculine. Consonants at the end, most nouns ending in T, D, P, F, or L, for example, le lit, which is the bed, le grand, which is a big one or a big man, is masculine. Now we'll see these suffixes which comes at the end, and 99% of the cases these endings will belong to a masculine noun only. The first one is âge. For example, le voyage, which is the journey, le fromage, which is the cheese. Now there are some exceptions with this one, the age, âge. La page means the page of the notebook, that is feminine. So that's why we're using la page, then la plage, l'image, la cage. So we will have to please learn the exceptions. There's no other way to remember it. It is just that we have to learn this by heart. The next ending, which is ment, which is always masculine. Le gouvernement, which is the government, le bâtiment, which is the building. So this is masculine. Next ending, it is eau, which is pronounced o in French. So that is also masculine in most of the cases. For example, le château, which is the castle, le bureau, which is the office. Now there are exceptions as well for this one, which is l'eau, which is water, la peau, which is skin. So these two are the exceptions. We will have to keep these in mind. The next one is isme, I-S-M-E. This is always masculine. Le journalisme, which is journalism. La tourisme, which is tourism. So next one is ou. This is also masculine. Le genou, which is the knee. Le cou, which is the neck. So whenever you see these endings, most likely those will be a masculine nouns. We will have to definitely learn the exceptions. Otherwise, 99% these endings will have masculine nouns. Let's just revise them one more time. So âge, moi, au, isme, or o. All these are masculine endings. Let's now move on to the feminine endings. So nouns endings in these letters or suffixes are typically feminine. The first one is tion, sion, sion, again sion, or xion, again sion. The first word which is written here is la nation, which is the nation. Then comes la télévision, which is the television. So any word which will be ending with tion, sion, or xion will always be a feminine noun. Let's now see the other one, which is te accent and also tie accent. So whenever you see these two endings, then that is also feminine noun in most cases, but we will also look at the exceptions. So the first one is la liberté, which is the freedom, or la moitié, which is the half. These both and any other words which are ending with the same endings are feminine. Now let's see the exceptions. There are two exceptions to this one. First one is le comité and other one is le côté. Let's now see the other one, which is once or once. So the pronunciation is almost the same, but it is ance or ence. Both these endings will also be feminine with only one exception to it. Let's first see the words which are feminine, like la chance, which is the luck, la différence, which is the difference. These are feminine, and also any other words which are ending with the same endings are feminine. There's one exception to it, which is le silence, which is the silence. Let's now see more endings to the female one. So ure, ur is also a feminine ending. For example, la voiture, which is the car, la nature, which is the nature. Another one, ode, ade, ude are also feminine nouns. La méthode, which is the method, le salade, which is the salad. Then it is ie. La magie, which is magic. La vie, which is life. There are two exceptions to it. Let's see the exceptions. The first one is le génie and the second one is l'incendie. Now, if you have noticed, mostly all the feminine endings have e at the end, except of those sion, sion, sion. All the other ones have e at the end. So this is also one of the way to know whether a noun is masculine or feminine. So this is like not applicable every time, but it works 80 to 90%, I would say. Now let's see other category. The categories that are usually masculine nouns. Languages. Le français, l'anglais, l'espagnol, all the languages are always masculine. Then days of the week, months, seasons, everything is masculine. So for the examples, we already know there are 7 days in the week: lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, and dimanche. And then when it comes to the months, there are 12 months, so all those months are always masculine. There are 4 seasons, all of those are masculine as well. Now the trees, the oak tree, the apple tree, mostly all the trees are also masculine. Now metric units and numbers, for example kilo, meter, and all that are also masculine nouns. So there are some categories as well for feminine nouns. For example, the school subject and the sciences, except math and scientific domains ending in the consonant, are feminine. La biologie, la chimie, la philosophie. Brands of the car are always feminine. And then fruits and vegetables ending in E, with common exceptions. Like there are some exceptions, but commonly the fruits and vegetables which are ending with E are feminine. For example, la pomme, la banane. Now we know how to see whether a noun is masculine or feminine. So we will now see another topic which is very, very important, which is article. We're going to learn the first type of article, which is definite article. So in English, we have just one definite article, which is the. we use the for all the types of in nouns, whether it is plural, whether it is singular, or any other exceptions, we always use de. But in French, it has been divided in 4 different parts. As you see on the screen, we use le, which is pronounced as le for the masculine nouns. For example, chat, which is a cat, is a masculine noun. So if we are going to talk about it in a sentence, we are going to say le chat, which is the cat. Now the feminine one, which is table, if you see, it has e at the ending, so that's a way to know. We are using la to say the table, which is la table in French. Now if the noun is starting from a vowel, even if it is masculine or it is feminine, that doesn't matter, it will start with L apostrophe. As you see on the screen, it says l'arbre, which is the tree. Then the 4th one is les, les. The s is silent and we will just say les. So les livres, which is the books. The second type of article is indefinite article, which is a and an in English. So here in French, we use 3 different types of articles for that. The first one is un, which is un, which we use for masculine nouns. The second one is une, which is une, which we use for feminine noun. And there is one which is des, des, which we use for plural nouns. We can say it as some. Like if we want to say like I have some books, I will say j'ai des livres. I have some books. Now the other one, okay, there are some examples written over here. Let's see these examples as well. For the indefinite ones, j'ai un chien. So chien is a dog, so it is a masculine noun, so we are using un, un with that. So j'ai un chien, which means I have a dog. The second example says j'ai une voiture. I have a car, because car is a feminine noun, so we're using une with it. J'ai une voiture. Let's now see the partitive articles. Now let's move over here on the top and see. Yes, so partitive articles are also of 4 different types. Let's see this line over here. This way. So de is used for masculine, de la is used for feminine, des, which is de, is used for plural, for saying some. Examples: je bois de l'eau, which is I drink water, or I drink some water, to be particular. So in English, there are some places where we don't put the articles, whereas in French, articles are important in mostly all of the places. There are some exceptions which we will cover later on, but it is mostly important. So if we could have said that the sentence in English, we would just say I drink water, right? But when we are saying that in French, this article, which is de l'apostrophe, is really important. Je bois de l'eau. Now, why we are using this del apostrophe? Because the noun is starting with a vowel. It is e, a, u. So de l'apostrophe o, which is combined as de l'eau. Je bois de l'eau. Now, example in a negative form: je n'ai pas de chien. I don't have a dog. Right? So now if you see in this one, that's really important as well. We have replaced un with de, de. Je n'ai pas de chien. So whenever we are making a sentence in negative, we are going to change the article into de, de. Also, there are some exceptions to this rule. We will be doing negatives in the video moving forward. So I will definitely show you why we use de in some of the cases and we don't use them in the other ones. So let's just skip it for now, but we're definitely going to cover this. Now, the third topic is adjective agreement. Adjectives must match the gender and the number of the nouns they describe. Rule: add an extra e for the feminine noun and an extra s for the plural nouns. For example, if we have a masculine singular noun, which is a garçon, which is a boy, right? Un garçon grand. If we are saying that word grand, which is tall or big, we can say, if it is with a masculine noun, as in this case, we will just use G-R-A-N-D. We are not going to pronounce the ending, which is the D, and we will just say grand. Un garçon grand. Now the same adjective, if we are going to use with a feminine one, then we are going to put an extra E at the end. If you see the second example, une fille grande. Now here, because we have E at the end, so that E is a silent and we're going to pronounce the D. So une fille grande. How will we use if it is a plural noun? We will add an S at the end. For example, see the third example, which says des garçons grands. Now, there are boys which are like who are tall. So because it is plural, we're going to add an extra S. Now also, if it was feminine group of tall girls, I would say, then we would say des filles grandes. We would use G-R-A-N-D-E-S in that case. Let's now see the placement of the adjectives. So, if you see in English, we always mostly use the adjectives in front of the noun. Like we say a tall boy, a big room, a beautiful garden. But in French, there are certain adjectives which will be placed before the nouns, but mostly all other adjectives are always placed after it. Let's now see the rule. If the adjective is telling us about the beauty, age, number, goodness, or size for the adjective, then it goes before the noun. Everything else goes after. Now we will remember this by bangs, B-A-N-G-S, which is beauty, age, number, goodness, and size. Let's see the example when we're using it after. So for example, it says une voiture rouge, which is a red car in English. So because it is a color and it does not fall in the banks category, so we are going to put that at the end. Une voiture rouge. Now if you see the example number 2, it is a petit chat. Now a small cat. It is representing the size. So it definitely falls under the banks category. We're going to put it in the front. Let's now see essential categories of the French adjectives. If we are going to describe someone's personality or character trait, we are going to use these adjectives which are written underneath, which is sympathique for nice or friendly person, gentil for kind person, méchant for mean person, intelligent for intelligent person, stupide for stupid person, honnête for honest. Now if you see here, the H in the starting is always silent. So in this case, it is honnête, which means honest, timide, which is shy, courageux, which is courageous or brave. Then comes paresseux, which is lazy, travailleux, which is hardworking. Let's now see if we are describing someone's physical description or appearance, then which ones we would use, which is grand, big or tall, petit, small, beau or belle, beautiful or handsome. So beau is used for masculine nouns, belle is used for the feminine nouns. Then comes jolie, which is pretty. Don't say happy. In English we use jolie for happy as well, but in French it is pretty. So you will have to remember that, please. The other one is laid, which is ugly, jeune, which is young, vieux, old, gros, fat or big, mince, thin or slim, fort, strong, faible, weak. If you see, for the adjectives we have two different forms. Now, as I told you before, it has to always go with the gender and the number of the noun. So if it is a masculine noun, we're going to say grand. If it is a feminine noun, we're going to say grande. So D-E at the end. Same way, for petit, we'll add an extra E to make it feminine. Now, this is an exception. For beau, it is belle. We have to just remember that. So for jolie as well, they have added an extra E. For laid, again extra E. Again coming, which is vu and vieux, it is an exception. We'll just have to remember it like this. Then comes gros and grosse. Also for fort and forte, it is extra E at the end. So we will have to always learn this for masculine and feminine like that. Let's now see if we're going to express some emotions or state of being, which adjectives we're going to use. The first one is which is happy, then triste, sad, fatigué, tired, energetic or energetic, calme, calm, nervous, fâché, angry, content, glad, pleased, or we can use it for happy, malade, sick or ill, surprise, surprised. Let's now see the adjectives of colors. Now, if you're going to say a red car, a blue carpet, or anything like that, we are going to use the colors as the adjectives. So let's see. The rouge is red, bleu is blue, vert is green, jaune is yellow, blanc or blanche is white, noir or noir is black, orange orange, rose pink, gris gray, marron brown. Let's now review some of the common Banks adjectives which we would mostly use, which are going to be placed before the nouns. Now, the ones which we were discussing before, which is beau and belle. I will explain you one more topic. Whenever we are representing a masculine noun, but we have to say handsome or beautiful, we will use beau for it, that we know. But if the masculine noun is starting with a vowel, French does not want so many vowels to come together. Like if I want to say a handsome man, I cannot say beau homme, beau homme. So there are a lot of vowels coming in between and H is silent. So we will use B-E-L, belle, bel homme. Alright? So that's the third category, beau, belle, and then B-E-L for masculine but starting with a vowel. Let's now move forward. Then the second one is jolie, third is jeune, then vieux, vieux, nouveau, nouvelle, bon, bonne, mauvais, mauvaise, grand, grande, petit, petite, gros, grosse. All these will always be placed before the noun. Now we will move on to another topic, which is subject pronouns. The pronouns which replace the noun as a subject performing an action are known as subject pronouns. Now the rule: match the pronoun to the person speaking being spoken to or being talked about. Example, tu parles for you speak. Nous parlons for we speak. Let's see it in depth. There are singular pronouns which are je, tu, il, elle and on. Let's see them one by one. So if it is je, that means I. And also in some cases we make it je apostrophe, like J apostrophe, if the verb or the noun or anything coming after it starts from a vowel. Let's now see an example for that. Je parle français, which is I speak French. So for I, we're using je. Tu, it is not tu. Tu is for you. Tu manges une pomme. You are eating an apple or you eat an apple. Let's now see the third one, which is il, which is used for he or for it. So basically it is a masculine singular noun. The example for this is il est grand, which is he is tall. Then we're going to see elle, which is she or it. So it is going to be used for feminine nouns or female people. For example, elle est intelligent. Elle est intelligent. She is smart or she is intelligent. The last one for the singular ones is on, which is one or we or people in general. For example, if I want to say people in French speak the language French, then we're going to use this on because this is a general statement. Example for this is on y va, which is let's go. One goes there. The plural pronouns which are going to replace the nouns. Nous, which is we. Nous voyagions ensemble, which is we travel together. Then vous, which is again a you. Now I will tell you a little bit more about this tu and vous. So we will use tu in the informal situations. If we are talking to a friend, family, children, pet, then we're going to use tu. But if we're going to talk in a formal way to group of people or maybe just one person, but with whom we are talking in formality, like our boss or our neighbor or anyone like that, which like who we don't know a lot, that's a new person or stranger to us, then we're going to use vous. For example, comment allez-vous, madame? Like, how are you, madam? The second example for this one, if we're using it for plural, are you all ready? Then in that case we will say vous êtes prêt? Vous êtes prêt? Are you ready? We're just saying are you ready, but that you, which is vous, is representing more than one people. So that's why we're saying are you all ready? Vous êtes prêt? Let's now see the last category, which is de. Because all the nouns are either masculine or feminine in French, so also the de will be different. If we're talking about a group of male or mixed group of people, of female and males, we are going to use il. For example, il joue au football. Let's now see the feminine one, which is elle, de. We're going to use it only for the group of females. For example, elles regardent un film. They are watching a movie. This day is for women's, females. They are watching the movie. Now, if there are 100 people, all of them are males, we're going to use il. If there are 100 people, all of them are females, we're going to use elle. Now what if there are 99 females and only one male in it? Still we're going to use il. So I'm telling you that because even if there is one male in the group, we are always going to say il. Let's now see the sixth important topic of this series, which is direct and indirect object pronoun. Pronouns can replace nouns to avoid repetition as a direct object. So the rule for this one is direct object pronouns. Le, la, le replaces the direct nouns. Indirect object pronouns, which is lui, le, will replace the indirect object. Let's now see an example for this one. I'm watching TV. Je regarde la télévision. We say that, right? But now we are going to replace it with the noun, which is la. Je la regarde. So it is going to come before the verb. Je la regarde. So this is replacing la télévision. Second example to this one is, if we are talking about a person, à Pierre, I'm talking to Pierre. So this is not direct object, right? I am talking to Pierre. This to is making it an indirect object, and in that case we're going to use lui for him or her. So je lui parle, which means I'm talking to him or her. I'm talking to Pierre. Let's now see this in depth. Direct object pronouns, which are COD, which will answer your questions like who or what. For example, I am watching. What are you watching? That what will replace this one. Let's see the first one, which is me or m apostrophe, which we are going to use instead of me. Il me regarde. He is looking at me. Alright. The second one, which is t or t apostrophe, which is going to replace you. Je t'aime. I love you. Le or L apostrophe is used for him or masculine nouns. Je le connais. I know him. Same way, la or L apostrophe is used for her or feminine ones. Il la mange. He is eating it. We will use nous for us. Nous invite. Now we are going to also talk about liaison in here. Le liaison. Elle nous invite. We are going to combine this S with that I in the front. She is inviting us. So for us, we are going to change it with nous. For the formal you, it is vous. Je vous écoute. I am listening to you. Then comes les, them, masculine or feminine. It has to be plural. Either masculine or feminine, that does not matter. So je les vois, I see them. Them, even if they are masculine or they are feminine, we're going to use the same word, which is les. Je les vois. Let's now see the indirect object pronouns. To whom? Now we're not answering the questions like who or what. To whom? So it is indirect object. To me will be replaced by me or m apostrophe the same way. Il me parle. He is talking to me. So the or t apostrophe will replace the you. Je te dis la vérité. I'm telling you the truth. Then lui, which will be used for him or her. Je lui écris. I'm writing to him or I'm writing to her. Then nous, to us. Elle nous donne un livre. She is giving a book to us. Then comes vous, which is to you. Je vous réponds. I am answering to you. Le, which is to them. Same here. Masculine or feminine, that does not matter. We are going to use just the same word, which is le. Je le parle. I am speaking to them. So all these were indirect objects. Indirect object pronouns like to me, to you, to her, to him, to us, to you, to them. Let's now see the negation rule. To make a sentence negative, you must frame the verb. Rule is we will use ne or ne apostrophe before a vowel and pas, which is pas. The s is silent. Pas, after the verb. If we see an example, that will be more easier for you to understand. Je n'aime pas le café. I do not like the coffee. Now, because the verb, which is aimer, I mean, but by conjugated, it is m in here, which is to like, is starting with a vowel. That's why we're going to use the n apostrophe. Otherwise, we would have used ne for any other verb, which is not starting with vowel. So in this case, it is je n'aime pas le café. I do not like the coffee. Let's now see common negative expressions. Ne jamais, never. Je ne fume jamais. I never smoke. The endings like jamais, rien, personne, plus, que, nulle part, these are going to change the meaning of the negative. Ne jamais means never. Ne rien means nothing. Je n'ai rien, I see nothing. Then ne personne, nobody or no one. Je ne connais personne ici, I know nobody here. Ne plus, which is no longer. Also we can pronounce it as ne plus, no longer or not anymore. Je ne vis plus à Paris, I no longer live in Paris. Then comes ne que, which is only, restricted meaning. Je ne mange que des fruits, I eat only fruits. Then ne nulle part, nowhere. Je ne vais nulle part, I'm going nowhere. Shift in indefinite and partitive articles. Change the indefinite articles and the partitive articles to de, which is de, or de apostrophe. Examples in here. J'ai un chat et du pain. I have a cat and bread. In negative, we're going to change it to je n'ai pas de chat et pas de pain. Both of these are changed to de, de. Un is changed to de, de. Also, the du is changed to de, de. I do not have a car. Oh, sorry, I do not have a cat and do not have a bread. Je n'ai pas de chat et n'ai pas de pain. Now, there are exceptions. This rule does not apply with the verb être. For example, ce n'est pas un problème. Ce n'est pas un problème. I don't have any problem. I don't have a problem. In this case, we are going to keep it the same, like a problem, un problème. Let's now see comparisons. To compare the qualities between things, use specific comparative structures. The rule is use plus for more, aussi for as, moins for less, directly before the adjectives or the verb, the adverb, followed by que or then as. For example, in superiority, il est plus grand que son frère. He is taller than his brother. So, plus que is like taller than, not taller than, because it is grown in the between. That's why it is taller than. But it could be any other thing, like more beautiful than, right? Plus beau que, anything like that. So for equality, il est aussi rapide que lui. She is as fast as him. Let's now see some examples. For superiority, more than, the formula is plus the adjective or adverb plus que. Il est plus grand que son frère. He is taller than his brother. Example with the noun, plus de plus noun plus que. J'ai plus de livres que toi. I have more books than you. And when we're going to use it in the equality, we will say as, same as that. In French, we would say aussi plus the adjective or adverb plus que. Example, elle est aussi rapide que lui. She is as fast as him. Example with the noun, autant de plus noun plus que. Tu as autant de courage que moi. You have as much courage as me. Now, inferiority, less than. We would also use that in French when we are going to say that you are less taller than me, you're less beautiful than me, or you are less intelligent than me. So less than. Formula for that will remain exactly same. Moi plus adjective or adverb plus que. Example for this one would be: ce livre est moins intéressant que l'autre. This book is less interesting than the other one. Moins intéressant que l'autre. Less interesting than other one. Example with noun: moins de plus noun plus que. Il y a moins de bruit ici. There is less noise here. Moins de bruit is a noun, and then ici. Il y a moins de bruit ici. Oh, there are some irregular comparatives as well, which is bon, good, will become mieux, which is better. Ce gâteau est mieux que celui-là. This cake is better than that one. Bien becomes mieux, which is better. Elle chante mieux que moi. She sings better than me. Then comes mauvais, which is bad. It becomes pis or plus mauvais, which is worse. Sa situation est pis. His situation is worse. Other topic is relative pronouns. Relative pronouns connect clauses and replace a noun to avoid repeating it. Choose the pronoun based on its grammatical rule in a dependent clause. Qui for subjects, que for direct objects, ou for places or time, and don for object introduced by the preposition de. So we're going to learn this in depth now. The first one is qui, which will replace the subject of the independent clause, the person or the thing who. Formula is noun plus qui plus the verb. Example: c'est l'homme qui habite ici. He is a man who lives here. He is the man who lives here. C'est l'homme qui habite ici. Let's now see the second one, which is que, and also when the word next to it is starting from a vowel, it will be q, u, and then apostrophe. We will remove the e. So que replaces the direct object of the dependent clause, the thing, the person, that, or whom. Formula: noun plus que plus subject plus the verb. C'est la robe que j'aime. This is the dress that I like. So now I will tell you how would you know if we have to use qui or we have to use que. So we will use qui if the subject is doing the action. For example, if you see in the first one, he is the man who lives here. So we are replacing the man who is doing the action. C'est l'homme qui habite ici. The man who lives here. But if we are not replacing the subject which is doing the action, whereas someone else is doing that action. Now, if we see the second example, it says c'est la robe que j'aime. That is the dress which I like. That I like. So I am doing the action. The dress is not doing the action. And we are using que for the dress. Then we are going to use que. So if the subject is doing the action, we would use qui. If someone else is doing the action, we would use que. Let's now see où. It is easy. It is always used for place or time, like where or when. Formula is noun plus où plus subject plus verb. Example is c'est la ville où je suis né. This is the city where I was born. So for where or for when, we are going to replace it with où. Fourth one, which is don. Again, we are not going to pronounce the T at the end. We would just say don. This will replace the objects which use the preposition de. Whose, of, which, that, of, like all that things. Formula is noun plus don plus subject plus the verb. Example, c'est la voiture dont je rêve. This is the car that I dream of. That I dream of. Dream of, right? That's why we're using don. Let's now see possessive adjective. Possessive adjectives indicate ownership and must agree in gender and number with the thing possessed, but not the owner. You would know this better. Let's see from here, like the first one. For my, we use mon, ma, me in French. Let me explain you in the easy way. If I'm saying it is my book, my table, and my rooms. Now me, I am a female. I am not going to use ma for everything. Ma is used for the feminine nouns, but not for the owner. Like the table, the books, and the rooms belong to me. But I'm not going to say ma. What I'm going to say is, like for livre, because it is a masculine noun, I would say mon livre. Then for the table, because table is a feminine noun, I would say ma table. And for rooms, because it is plural, so I will say mes chambres, my rooms. Now let's now see with the examples which are written on the screen for you. The masculine singular, mon livre, my book. Feminine singular, ma voiture, my car. Plural, mes amis, my friends. Now there's an exception as well which I would like to bring to your attention. Whenever a feminine noun is starting with vowel, we are going to replace the ma with mo in that case. We don't want so many vowels to come together, right? So we are going to change that with mo. For example, ami, my female friend, A-M-I-E, was supposed to be ma ami. So the pronunciation would create a lot of mess in there. Ma ami, ma ami. So that's why what French do here is, whenever a noun is starting with a vowel, whether or not it is masculine or feminine, we're going to use mon for that. M-O-N, mon. Mon ami, my female friend. Let's now see same way for your. Ton, ta, te. Ton is used for masculine singulars, ton stylo. For feminine, we say ta, ta maison. For plural, we say tes effets, your things. Same way, ton will be used if the noun is starting with a vowel, whether or not it is masculine or feminine. Ton école. École is a feminine word, so we should have used ta, but because it is starting with a vowel, we're going to use ton école. Ton école. Let's now see the third one, which is his, her, its. Son, sa, c'est. For the masculine singular nouns, we're going to use son chien. For feminine singular, we will say sa table. For the plurals, we will say ses parents. Note, again, the same thing. If the noun is starting with a vowel, whether or not it is masculine or feminine, we are going to use son for that. So, son idée, his or her idea. Let's now see our. It is going to be used as notre or no. Notre for all the singular, either masculine or feminine, does not matter. Any singular noun will be replaced with notre. Notre professeur. For plurals, it will be always nos, nos, nos enfants, our children. For your, same way, it is votre for the singular ones, votre bureau, and vos for the plural one, vos clés, your keys. For there, we're going to use le and leurs. So for all the singular ones, whether whether the noun is masculine or feminine, we're going to use le without an S. Le maison. For plural, we're going to use le with an S at the end. The pronunciation is still going to be the same. Le valise. Let's now see the 11th topic, which is demonstrative adjective, which in English is this, that. In French, there are 3 different type of, like, if we would take note of that vowel thing as well, then 4 different type of adjectives which we use for this and that. The first one is se, which is masculine singular. Se with T at the end, C-E-T, se, for masculine singular before a vowel. Set for feminine singular, whether or not it is starting with a vowel, it is going to be the same. S-E-T-T-E, set. And then se, which is C-E-S, for plurals. Again, for plurals, whether or not it is masculine or feminine, it is always going to be se. Example, for the masculine one, ce garçon, this or that boy. Example, for the second one is cette arbre, like cet arbre, that or this tree. Now example for the feminine one is cette maison, and for the plural one is ces fleurs. Let's now see the demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns replace a previously mentioned noun to avoid repetition, equivalent to this one, that one, these, or those. For this one, again, there are different types of pronouns which we use in French. The first one, which is C-E-L-U-I, celui, is masculine singular. Celle, which is C-E-L-L-E, is feminine singular. C-E-U-X is for masculine plural, and C-E-L-L-E-S is for feminine plural. If we are going to specifically say this one or that one, then we could always use hyphen CI for this one or these ones, and hyphen LA accent for that one or those ones. Let's now see that with an example. Je préfère ce livre-ci, pas celui-là. I prefer this book, not that one. So for this book, we are saying ce livre-ci. Otherwise, if we would use only the ce livre, that would have mean this book or that book, ce livre. But this C at the end is making it ce livre-ci, is making it this book. And then this one, celui-là, that la is making it that one. Now, the second example in the feminine singular one, ma voiture est rouge, mais celle Paul est bleue. My car is red, but the one belonging to Paul is blue. Mais celle de Paul, the one of Paul, belonging to Paul or of Paul, est bleu. That one is blue. Example for plural. Je vous sais sorry. Let me start again. I'm sorry. Je vous sais chaussures et celle-là. I want these shoes and those ones. Je vous sais chaussures et celle-là. Let's now see some interrogative pronouns. These are important when we're asking the questions. Who, what, which. So the first one, which is qui, which is used for who or whom, is used for people. Qui plus verb, or qui plus est plus subject plus verb. Example, qui est là, who is there. La is used for there, et is, and qui is who. Who is there, qui est là. Example number 2 is qui est-ce que tu invites? Who are you inviting? Let's now see que or qu'est-ce que. This is used for what, and it is used for things and not for people. Formalize qu'est-ce que plus subject plus verb, or que plus the inversion verb. For example, qu'est-ce que tu fais? What are you doing? Example number 2 is que cherches-tu? What are you looking for? Que cherches-tu? What are you looking for? Third one is lequel. This is very important as well. Even if we are linking two sentences in general, or if we are asking questions, lequel can be used there. It is used to choose among options, match gender and number. Masculine singular, lequel. Lequel tu préfères? Which one do you prefer? Which one? Lequel. Okay? For feminine singular, laquelle est ta voiture? Which one is your car? Laquelle. If you see, it is combination of the article and quel. For masculine one, it was lequel, L-E-le for masculine, lequel. For feminine one, it is L-A, laquelle. And for masculine plural, it will be lequel with L-E-S. And for the feminine one, again L-E-S, le, and the quel will be for the feminine plural one, Q-U-E-L-L-E-S. So these are 4 different type of lequel. Let's now see the third example moving forward. Lequel veux-tu? Which one do you want? Now, for the feminine plural, lequel choisis-tu? Which one do you choose? Note, combined with the preposition a, auquel, à lequel, auquel, and auquel, and de, duquel, de laquelle, desquels, and desquels. Right? So these are always used. Let's now see interrogative adjectives and adverbs used to ask about characteristics, quantities, locations, reasons, or manners. The first one, which is quel, which I was telling you in this lequel thing as well. These are 4 different types. The first one, which is Q-U-E-L, quel, is masculine. Masculine, and then the other one, Q-U-E-L-L-E, is feminine. Q-U-E-L-S, masculine plural, and then Q-U-E-L-L-E-S is feminine plural. Meaning of all these is which or what. Masculine number, as I said, masculine singular is quel. Quel livre tu lis? Which book are you reading? For feminine singular, it is again quel. Quelle heure est-il? What time it is? Masculine plural, quel. Quel film tu préfères? Which movie do you prefer? Then feminine plural, again quel. Quelle couleur tu aimes? Which color do you like? All the quel are pronounced the same way, but when you write them, then you should write the correct spellings. Let's now see the interrogative adverbs, which are like where, when, how, why, all that, right? In French, où is used for where. Où habites-tu? Where do you live? Quand, it is not quand. Q-U-A-N-D. Quand. Quand is when. Quand est-ce qu'il arrive? When is he arriving? Then comment is for how. Comment ça va? How are you, or how it is going. Then pourquoi, which is why. Pourquoi tu ris? Why are you laughing? Combien is for how much or how many. Combien ça coûte? How much does it cost? Another topic which is again very, very important in French grammar is preposition of place and direction. Prepositions indicate where something is located or the direction of movement relative to places like countries, cities, etc. Let's now see the rule. Use different preposition depending upon the gender of the country or whether you're referring to a city. For cities, we're always going to use a with an accent for to or in. Feminine countries, we're going to use en, en, for to or in. Masculine countries, we are going to use again the vowel en, Masculine countries with a vowel, I mean, not all the masculine countries. For all the other masculine countries, we are going to use AU, O. And then for the plural countries, we would use AUX, which is O, again for to or in. Examples. J'habite à Paris. Because Paris is a city, so we're going to use A. J'habite à Paris. Now example for a feminine country. Je vais en France. I am going to France. So to is replaced by en. Then a masculine country. Il voyage au Canada. He is traveling to Canada. Example for the plural country. Nous allons aux États-Unis. We are going to the United States. Let's now see the basic prepositions of place and direction. A is used for at, to, or in, as we saw. J'habite à Paris. De is used for from or of. Je viens de Lyon. I come from Lyon. Or I am from Lyon, we can say. Dans is used for in or inside. Le chat est dans la boîte. The cat is in the box. Sur is used for on. Le livre est sur la table. The book is on the table. Sous is used for under. Again, the S at the end is not pronounced. It is silent. It is sous. Le chien est sur le lit. The dog is under the bed. Devant. Devant is in front of. Il attend devant la porte. He is waiting in front of the door. Derrière. Derrière is used for behind. La voiture est derrière la maison. The car is in behind the house. Entre is between. La banque est entre la poste et l'école. The bank is between the post office and the school. Chez, it is at home of. To the place of. Je vais chez mon ami. I am going to my friend's place. Avec, with. Je bois du café avec du lait. I drink coffee with milk. Sans is without. Il travaille sans repos. He works without rest. Pour is for. Ce cadeau est pour toi. This gift is for you. Pendant is during. Il a plu pendant la nuit. It rained during the night. Then comes indefinite pronouns and adjectives. Indefinite words refer to unspecified quantities, people, or things such as everyone, someone, nothing, each, or several. The rule: match the indefinite pronoun or adjective to whether it refers to a person or thing, and ensure adjective forms agree in gender and number with the noun they modify. Let's see it with examples, then you would know. Indefinite pronouns, which is referring to people or thing. Tout le monde, which is everyone or everybody. Tout le monde aime le chocolat. Everyone likes the chocolate. Then quelqu'un, someone or anybody. Quelqu'un a frappé à la porte. Someone knocked on the door. Personne, which is nobody or no one. Personne n'est venu. Nobody came. Tout is for everything. Tout va bien. Everything is fine. Rien, which is nothing. Je ne sais rien. I know nothing. Then quelque chose, something. J'ai quelque chose pour toi. I have something for you. Now comes indefinite articles, which are modifying nouns like chaque, each or every. Chaque étudiant a un livre. Each student has a book. Plusieurs, which is several. J'ai lu plusieurs livres. I have read several books. Then quelques, a few or some. Quelques personnes attendent. A few people are waiting. Then tout, all or every. Tous les jours, like every day. Now why these are for? Again, the T-O-U-T, which is tout, is for masculine. T-O-U-T-E is for feminine singular. T-O-U-S is for masculine plural. And then TOUTES is for feminine plural. Then the second last one is autre, which is other. Je veux une autre voiture. I want another car. Même, same, c'est la même chose. It is the same thing. Let's now see our 17th topic, which is disjunctive or stressed pronouns. Let's see the rule. Use moi for me, toi for you, lui for him, elle for her, nous for us, vous for you, eux for them, masculine ones, and then elle for feminine, them. Example, if you're using it after a preposition, we're going to use this way. Ce cadeau est pour moi. This gift is for me. Example for emphasis, like lui, il comprend. He understands. Now, example in comparisons. Tu es plus grand que moi. You are taller than me. In these three different scenarios, we are going to use stressed pronouns. Let's now move on to another topic, which is adverbs of frequency, manner, and time. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs to tell us how, when, where, how often something happens. Let's see that with examples. Adverbs of manner. Bien is for well. Il chante bien. He sings well. Then mal, which is badly. Elle danse mal. She dances badly. Vite, which is fast, quickly. So the sentence for this one will be il court vite. He runs fast. Lentement, which is slowly. Marcher lentement, walk slowly. Then facilement, which is easily. Il réussit facilement. He succeeds easily. Ensemble, which is together. Nous travaillons ensemble. We work together. Let's now see adverbs of frequency. The first one is toujours. Toujours is always. Je mange toujours du pain. Pain. Je mange toujours du pain, which is I always eat bread. Then the second one is souvent, which is often. Il vient souvent ici. He often comes here. Then parfois or quelquefois, sometimes. Parfois il pleut. Sometimes it rains. Second last one is rarement or rarement, which is used for rarely. Elle arrive rarement en retard. She rarely arrives late. Then comes jamais, which is never. Je ne mens jamais. I never lie. Adverb of time. Hier, yesterday. Aujourd'hui, today. Let's see the examples as well. For yesterday, j'ai voyagé hier. I traveled yesterday. Aujourd'hui, which is today. Aujourd'hui, il fait beau. Today, the weather is nice. Demain, which is tomorrow. Nous partons demain. We are leaving tomorrow. Maintenant, now. Je suis occupé maintenant. I am busy now. Déjà, which is already. Il est déjà arrivé. Il est déjà arrivé. He has already arrived. Tard, late. Il est rentré tard. He came home late. Tôt, which is early. Je me lève tôt. I get up early. Let's now see adverbs of place. Ici, here. Là or là-bas, there or over there. Example for this one would be le livre est là-bas. The book is over there. Partout, everywhere. Il y a des fleurs partout. There are flowers everywhere. Nulle part. Nowhere. Je ne vais nulle part. I'm going nowhere. Dedans, inside. Restez dedans. Stay inside. Dehors, which is outside. Il fait froid dehors. It is cold outside. Près, which is near. La banque est près. The bank is near. Loin, which is far. C'est loin d'ici. It is far from here. Adverbs of quantities and degrees. beaucoup, a lot, much. For example, il travaille beaucoup. He works a lot. Un peu, a little. Elle est un peu fatiguée. She is a little tired. Très, which is used for very. Il est très intelligent. He is very intelligent, or he is very smart. Trop is for too or too much. C'est trop cher. That's very expensive. That's too expensive. Assez for enough. J'ai assez mangé. I have eaten enough. Presque, almost. Il est presque midi. It is almost noon. Seulement, which is only. J'ai seulement 10 euros. I only have 10 euros. This topic is considered one of the more advanced grammar topics. But don't worry, I'll explain it in a very simple way. Partitive and quantity expressions. For the partitive articles, like do is masculine singular. Je bois du café. De la is for feminine singular. Elle mange de la salade. De l'apostrophe is for singular before a vowel. Il achète de l'eau. He is buying water. Des is for plural. Nous achetons des pommes. We are buying apples. Negative rule, as we have discussed before, all these will change into de or d apostrophe in the negative ones. For example, je ne bois pas de café. I do not drink coffee. Expressions of quantity. Rule. Followed directly by de or d apostrophe regardless of gender or number of noun. For example, beaucoup de, a lot of. Un peu de, a little or a little bit of. Trop de, too much. Assez de, enough of. Moins de, less or fewer of. Plus de, more of. Un kilo de, a kilo of. Let's now see these with examples. The first one, which was beaucoup de, a lot of, much, many. J'ai beaucoup de travail, I have a lot of work. For un peu de, which is a little bit of, elle veut un peu d'eau. She wants a little bit of water. Trop de, too much or too many of. Il y a trop de bruit. There is too much noise. Assez de, which is enough of. Nous avons assez de temps. We have enough time. Moins de, which is less or fewer of. Il y a moins de personnes. There are fewer people. Plus de, which is more of. Je veux plus de chocolat. I want more chocolate. Un kilo de, a kilo of. Je voudrais un kilo de pommes. I would like a kilo of apples. Our second last topic, which is conjunctions and transition words. Conjunctions connect words, phrases, or entire clause to show relationship like cause, contrast, consequence, or addition. Rule: place coordinating conjunctions a, mais, ou, dans. Let's just see from here, which includes the examples as well. Et, which is a, is used for and. Il aime le pain et le fromage. He likes bread and cheese. So for and, we're using a. For but, we're using mais. M-A-I-S, mais. Il est fatigué, mais il travaille. He's tired, but he is working. Then, ou is used for or. Tu veux du thé ou du café? Do you want tea or coffee? Or is used as ou. Then comes D-O-N-C, donc. Therefore or so. Je pense, de, je suis. I think, therefore I am. Then or o is used for yet or now, introducing a new factor or twist. And then ni is used for neither or nor. Je ne bois ni café ni thé. I drink neither coffee nor tea. Car is used for because. Formal explanation. Il reste chez lui car il pleut. He is staying home because it is raining. Now subordinating conjunctions. For example, parce que, which is because. Je reste à la maison parce qu'il pleut. I am staying home because it is raining. Then come puisque, which is since, seeing that. Puisque tu es là, aide-moi. Since you are here, help me. Then quand or lorsque is used for when. Quand il viendra, nous sortirons. When he comes, we will go out. Si is used for if. Si tu veux, nous pouvons partir. If you want, we can leave. Then bien que, although or even though, followed by a subjunctive, which is bien qu'il soit. That il travaille. Although it is late, he is working. Then pour que, so that, in order that. It is again followed by a subjunctive. Je parle lentement pour que tu comprends. I speak slowly so that you understand. Now there are some more for transition words and logical characters, like d'abord, first of all. For the example, we will say d'abord, il faut écouter. First of all, one must listen. Then ensuite, which is next or then. Ensuite, nous irons au magasin. Next, we will go to the store. Then enfin, which is finally or lastly. Enfin, le projet est terminé. Finally, the project is finished. Then comes cependant, which is for however. Il faut froid, cependant, il sort. It is cold. However, he is going out. Then, de plus, furthermore or moreover. De plus, c'est très économique. Furthermore, it is very economical. Par conséquent. Consequently, il a raté son train. Par conséquent, il est en retard. He missed his train. Consequently, he is late. En revanche, which is on the other hand. Il est strict. En revanche, il est juste. He is strict. On the other hand, he is fair. And the last topic, which is passive voice transformation. The passive voice shifts the focus from the person doing the action to the person or thing receiving the action. In English as well, we do that. The cat eats the mouse is eaten by the cat. Same way, in French as well, we do it the same way. If you see the first example, which is for the active part, le chat mange la souris. The cat eats the mouse. In the passive voice, we will say that la souris est mangée par le chat. The mouse is eaten by the cat. So this way, like, we can use it while we're writing some essays, letters or something. We can use the passive voice in some of the topics to show that we know this as well. Perfect. Congratulations. If you have watched this entire lesson, you have just learned some of the most important French grammar concepts that every beginner needs. Don't worry if you don't remember everything immediately. Learning a language takes practice. I recommend watching this lesson again, taking notes, trying to make your own sentences. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to learn French easily with Diya for more French lessons, vocabulary, pronunciation practice, conversation, and TCF preparation. Thank you so much for watching. À bientôt et bon courage.